not be surprised. If it stays live and goes live, I will be surprised. Surprise, surprise.
Black women are 4 times more likely to die than their white counterparts with the same symptoms. Why is that?
This should be it. Is it? Ooh, it is. All right, turn the volume down. No, that's not down enough. Further down. Still hears it, doesn't it? Get over there. Get over there, live chat. We don't need you right now. We got to adjust the camera. Hey, you're still too loud. I can still hear you. There. Right. There, I can barely hear that one. All right, yeah, Dewey's doing his balancing act here. What we got here? No. Live chat. There we go. Right. So, I have so many knives that are fun knives that, and I haven't done a fun knife Friday in a while. I thought I'd do a fun knife Friday live. And we'll just sit here and look at some different knives. And I can only think of, like, if you're not having fun with your knife, you're doing something wrong. The only exception to that, I think, would be if you worked, like in a fish factory and your knife was a work knife and you had to cut up fish every day and you hated the smell of fish. Oh, thank you, Toby. And your fish knife, it may be a knife, that brings a lot of fun if you're out fishing. But if you're working with it every day, what y'all doing? Watch it. Thank you for the super chat, Toby. Those really help out, the channel, and of course, Toby really helps out the channel. That's where most of these knives are, you see, are here. But as far as like a fun knife type of thing, what is not more fun than a trick knife? Now, it's not fun to the person that gets it because, like I said, I tried this and it's slick. There's no nail nick there, So you're like, they made a mistake, they goofed up, they did something wrong, and I can fix that. And then before I even did that, I had those hemostats and I pulled on it and it felt solid. It didn't feel, like it didn't look rusty either, you know. So you would have had to have grown up in that era, when like they had the Roy Rogers trick knives and stuff like that. But this is a cool knife, because if you know the trick, then you you know how to do it. You got to shake it. You got to shake it, but you can't break it. And here's my UV light. This is pretty cool for. Hey, Cranky, how's it going? Cranky's over way out down. He's way down under in Australia. Cranky's another locksmith. Toby. He works on. Uh, but yeah, these UV lights come in handy if you're looking for, see, like this crack, it's obvious under this light, and sometimes it helps and sometimes it doesn't. But if you turn all the lights off, let's try to turn some lights off. Turn you off. It's going to get dark in here. We'll have this on. Whoa, bing! So you can see things that shine up under fluorescent light. People are going to go, what is going on in this live stream? My TV's not working. It went dark. I had to adjust contrast. But yeah, even a regular knife can be fun, like Cracky. Had so much fun. Well, not really fun trying to find him, but so much fun with Cracky because originally when I got it, you know, I was disappointed with it. You know, it was the Warncliffe one. I was disappointed with it because I started noticing a crack here, a crack there, here a crack, there a crack, everywhere a crack. Old McQueen knife had a crack, E-I-E-I-O. And, you know, I was like disappointed. Then I started thinking about it. And I thought, you know what? The handle, you know, the cover's not falling off. And you're just being a little picky about it. And I grew to accept it. I said, you know what? I'm even going to give it a nickname. I'm going to call it Cracky. And then I went to look for the knife. And I couldn't find it. So I hurt his feelings, is what I think happened. You know, he heard me talking bad about it and said, I don't want to stick around, you know, like an orphan. He's, you know, in a place and he doesn't want to be there, you know, because nobody wants him, you know, so he's going to run away again. Hello, Andrew. I have to look at the, this is how I see what's going on with the chat, because up here in the camera, I tried it once. The first time I tried a live chat, I tried it once, and you don't see anything. I don't know how you pull it up, but you do not see anything. And I learned also, don't push any of these buttons down here on the bottom while you're doing it with the camera. But yeah, those are fun knives, you know, because well, it wouldn't have been fun if I started modifying it. Like I said, like I'll get this open, I'll get a hydraulic press out, you know, I'll tear it apart, pry these covers off, you know, and everything. And you wind up messing it up when it's just a simple thing. Let's see, this one I think you got to shake. I put a little KPL in here on this one. This little pin is. This one's extra tricky. There's trick knives and then there's extra tricky knives. But you're basically, there's that hinge in here and you're just supposed to get it. I'm going to get a can of compressed air stuff, you know, like that you spray it out. And I'll fix that. I'll clean it out. But I did put KPL in there. And of course, you know, you don't have to spend a lot of money. Here's some very good knives that are useful. Here's some knives that are mostly novelty, but it's fun trying to get them. I mean, you can spend a bunch of money, not a bunch of money, 20 bucks. You can spend 20 bucks to complete this collection. If you get them like Chicago Knife Works and stuff, they're usually less than $5. If it gets to where you can't find it for some reason, there's an embargo or some crap like that going on, and a particular one you can't get or something. I think Red Dress was the one that was missing from my set here. And when I would find it on eBay and stuff like that, like I said, it was way beyond what it should be. But how much do you want to pay to complete your collection? You start thinking, well, these are only $5. What's $15 for this knife? And usually as soon as you do that, all of a sudden a new order hits, and every place that was out of these starts having anything. If Dewey wasn't hogging, getting in the way, he's an attention hog. Well, see, you knocked the Barlow girls down. They fell over. I think they've been drinking. Get up there. Lean on each other. There you go. Right. So yeah, the clasp knives are really fun. These are really nice and useful. You could use it as a heavy duty knife, and trying to get them. Like Toby said, a lot of places will only have 3 of them. The turkey was the hardest one. Like Smoking and Mountain Knife Works, I think, has everything except for the turkey. They don't even list it. Used to be if they didn't have it, they would say out of stock, or it would be grayed out or everything. They only list 3 of them, and this is a deer, you idiot. Hold that. Don't fall over. There you go. The turkey. See, so part of your fun, if you like chasing down knives and hunting them down and stuff. Oh, I'll get that sheath out for you. Part of the fun is tracking them down. You know, sometimes, yeah, you go to your regular sources, you can't find them. You go to eBay, and then it's like, do I want to get in a bidding war? How badly do I want to, complete this collection and everything? And you just take a gamble. All right, let's knock the Borrow Girls down. Yeah, this is a nice. Toby sent me a lot of knives from Finland and stuff, and this one's the Rapala, and it's got the traditional. See, if you don't know, if you're looking at this and go, oh, they made a mistake and didn't trim the leather off, and you go cut it off with a knife, man, this is part of the traditional, leaving that on there, but it's pretty cool. It's got a dangler on it. It's nicely made, it's stitched. And then this is like a fish knife, a fillet knife. J. Martini, Finland. Hand ground stainless. And you got the little finger groove there. And it's, the attached, like a stick tang attached to the pommel. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool, I think. Pretty cool. I was gonna do a thing on fillet knives. I got a bunch of different folding ones that Toby sent in there, but I was just gonna say, a knife doesn't have to. I don't know exactly how much that one costs. It looks pretty nice, but things like Mora knives, Mora knives are not very expensive, but if you have fun with them, if you enjoy them and you have fun with them, then they're a fun knife. But if you had to work with it, like I said, the smell of fish made you nauseous or something, but you had to, make a living, and nothing else was. There's no other fishery nearby, and every day, your knife, you had to use fish, to scale it. I don't think that would be a fun knife for you. I think that would be an exception, But the rest of them, like if you're going out fishing, you got your little fish knife here, and it's a medium toothpick size to begin with, which is what I like a lot anyway. And then you have the advantage, besides that, until you have something specialized for your, how do you get this guy open? I think he's got a nail neck of his own somehow. It's a secret. It's a trick knife. See how much I use it. Usually there's like a little hook up here. Ow, there is. It's just set down pretty deep. Now he's going to cut himself. How would I cut myself on live? All right, now this looks like the trick knife type of locking. Just get it out with that little. Yeah, take them scales off. Unless you like scaly fish, crunchy fish, you could leave it on. But otherwise, most people would scale that off. And this is supposed to kind of like help pivot and twist and pull your hook out. My dad and everything when we went fishing always had like some needle nose pliers. I never saw him use one of these. And we would use a spoon. We'd use a spoon a lot of times to descale. I never saw a dedicated fish knife. If he had one, he never showed me. And I never found it. And then you can just have, regular knives that are, again, look at that. It looks all washed out. Look at that. It looks like it's completely translucent with just couple little hint flakes in there. But, man, it really is, it's not the shiniest or most colorful abalone, but there's nothing wrong with it. Like the only dark part I can see is right up here. It doesn't reflect the light as much. Let's take it outside in the sun. But see if you get it just right. These are pieces of abalone. I think it might. I don't think this is a whole chunk, but it might be. But sometimes you can see little pieces in there. Yeah, it's all color and lighting, and everything, color balance and getting everything just right to make it right. But like I said, as far as fun knives go, um, I put a lot of my knives in these boxes, and if I want any fun, if I'm out of fun, I can just open up a box and find all kinds of fun. Like a Saab LED too. Oh look, it had a fun hair on it. Oh, thank you, Toby. Thank you again. Worth 3 miles off the coast of Florida now and about to lose reception. Wow, they're fishing. Very cool. Thank you, Toby. It's pretty good that we're talking about fish knives and stuff. He's about to lose reception, so yeah, good luck catching fish. Toby and family, they're out there fishing. Yeah. Let me get some more fishy knives I had back here. Yeah, my organization, I could really be more organized. That's why I put knives in boxes and stuff. Let's pull this one out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open this box up, and anybody sees a knife, that they just wanna see more of, they can speak right away. We're not going to be able to angle them. All right, Dewey, you're going to have to move because we need the space. Sit back there and try not to get cut. But see, you can't really... Uh-oh, I don't hear anything. Oh, you can see it. Oh, hello, Jason. Fishing. Man, I used to love to go fishing. Now, fishing on a pond is different than fishing in salt water or fishing in, like we had the Gulf of Mexico was where we would do saltwater fishing. And you would either go out on a pier, most time you'd pay to go out on a pier, you'd walk out there. And crabs would always steal your stuff, but crabs were pretty cool to cook up too if you knew what you were doing. But what I was trying to catch was flounder or panfish, and they were great when you caught them, man, because Mom would cook them up, and they're called panfish because they're flat and their eyes, were sitting like this, and they bury themselves kind of in the mud. So you got to have a weight, and your bait goes all the way down to the bottom, and that's where crabs are at too. They're not swimming up in there; they're on the bottom cruising around, and so they see down there, and they go, "Yummy." And you're getting that's fine. Most of the time. All right, these are the types that Toby said he was using this one to skin a lot of fish. It's the Kershaw, like folding fillet knife. So you don't have to have a big handle and everything, but it's ergonomic. I mean, you don't need a big holster or anything. It's ergonomic, and it'll cut. Ooh, today is Friday, so after noon here on Defy TV or whatever, they run reruns of Forged in Fire. So I like Doug McCarter, that one. He goes, "It will kill. It will kill." And the translator on my TV doesn't list it as Kill. It spells it out as Keal. It will kill. It will cut. But those are cool. Now this is another one. It's a budget that's a lot, like that. It's just got a anodized, blade painted on or whatever. I'm gonna keep digging back here. I think that's it for the fish knives. Now, of course, for the fun knives, you gotta have a pocket. Now, you gotta have big pockets for one of these. Now, again, it's a timber rattler, and it's made in Pakistan, and it's stainless steel. Now, that's all they're guaranteeing right here on this. But if you look at Tobias did a link to Outdoor 55, and he was talking about heat treat. He actually got, he's got a forge, and he heat treats stuff and everything. And he heat treated 3 different knives to 3 different, all the same knife, to 3 different heat treats. And one, he did the heat treat correctly, and the other ones, he messed them up. He overheated them, or he overquenched them, or whatever. And the one that was heat treated too much, that had a high Rockwell hardness, when he stuck the tip into a piece of board and bent like that, it snapped off. The other ones were fine. They were lower Rockwell hardness. So, like, those Rockwell testers and Rockwell stuff, it's just a piece of the puzzle of what makes a knife. It's edge geometry, and it's what angle did you set the edge at and everything. Like, this is a knife that I carried a lot of times back when Gerber was, making good knives and everything. It's nothing super special. It doesn't have a pocket clip. For some reason, it's got a lanyard hole. I never used that. And it's just a simple blade shape. But it got things done. I put that in here. But yeah, of course if you can't have fun with Zombie Nick, then you shouldn't have been buying Zombie Nick knives. Because, friends don't let friends eat friends, and let's keep it civilized in here and adult, all right? Let me look at the chat, make sure no porn bots have gotten in here, because, I have no moderator right now. Nope, everything looks fine. Yes. Over in Australia, it's a different time zone. I mean, besides different different times of the year, like they're in winter time. We're just, man, we've had 40 days of 100 degrees or higher in northern Texas right now. Hello, Stacy. And it's been hot. And we have nothing but hot. Like, it's supposed to be 103 today. Yesterday was 104 or something like that. Fortunately, I stay inside and have air conditioning. I talked to my sister. I went to, she works at Dollar Tree, and I surprised her the other day. And I went in there, and I was talking to her. And I said, I leave my thermostat at, the highest I can go is 83. And she goes, 83? And I said, yeah. I don't want to be sweating, in my house. If I've got air conditioning, I'll pay. I'm on and I have free electricity weekends also. So I save all my heavy duty chores for the weekend. And the weekend starts today at 6 p.m. So that's what I've got set up. Now, I'm sure the next time I renegotiate the contract and everything, it'll go much higher. Everything's going much higher. But for right now, I'm not really worried about electricity. And I haven't paid my bill. I don't think they'll cut me off. And my phone, I'm surprised I'm going with this because I haven't paid my phone yet. And normally I can get an extension. Oh, thank you, Stacy. Thank you for joining. She's a new member. One of the benefits you'll get is the little emojis. Now, um, Dewey has just gotten his emoji. I just added it, and we needed one more member to be able to open up another emoji available. Now, what I was going to do is the one that's just mine that says, Williams Knife Life emoji. That one, I was just going to, change it to something else. But now that we've got another member, we can throw. Of course, that means another dinosaur, but that'll be next month. Like we'll either name a dinosaur or get another one. But yeah, in case you don't know, on that last marbles knife thing is the giveaway. It's open to everybody, anybody. Uh, you know, just watch the video for any restrictions. There's a secret word he wants me to say. Hello, Dewey. But we are not going to say it because then it wouldn't be a secret, would it? Don't look despondent. You're like the star of the show. Get back over there and hang out with the Barlow girls. They're upset too because they don't get the spotlight, but they might. This like I said, every month I'm going to get a knife. That's the main thing that I do with the membership is based upon the number of members I have, I'll get a knife each month. The value of the knife is usually based upon the number of members I have. So if I've got uh, 15 members, then I'll go with like a $15 knife. Now it's usually always more than that and everything, and I'll throw in another knife. I'm just saying this just gives me something to base the reason for having memberships on, because it's not to, get rich or anything like that. It's just a way of giving back, and it allows the members, just by becoming a member, you're giving back to the knife community. You're giving a knife away. I happen to, well, you'll help pick it sometimes. Like in this case, we had the extra eagle knife. So I didn't send out. I'm gonna try to set it up where I do a poll, for members and say, of these knives, which do you think would be the next best? Which would you like to see in the next giveaway? And people will select, and then I'll order that knife. But a lot of times I get pressed for time. But anyways, it's the beginning of the month, so we got plenty of time for this. And that giveaway will be going on until next Friday, I guess, somewhere around there. And yeah, I look forward to it. See, the thing is, I want people to be able. They don't have to participate, but I want them to be able to participate. You know, um, if you're overseas and you like knives, and you see that because of restrictive knife laws or customs or whatever, uh, you can't participate in all these giveaways, which are a fun thing, that people like to do. It's just it's sort of like gambling, but instead of winning coins and everything, you win a knife. And sometimes they're really good knives, and sometimes they're but they're a knife. Who wouldn't want a free knife? You know. So that's what I do it behind it. Like I said, it's not to get a bunch of subscribers and boost the algorithm or all that other stuff that you know other people do. And the people that do that, if they wanted this is killer, I think it's marbles. I don't think it's if it's marbles, it'll say yeah. This one they did a laser etched scrimshaw, and it was like a limited run. Marbles is another one if you want to get into like I don't know if I'd like a sunfinch pattern, just looks like a big canoe. Yeah, yeah, it's like a big canoe. If you're not sure, they're usually the least expensive, and they have white ones. Oh, we have this now. See, this one did not come that way. This is the way from me banging it around, and see, like that one too. It did not come this way. Um, it's all in how you treat your knives. I'm just talking about bone is susceptible to crack. Ooh, got another crack there. I'm not calling him cracky. Not the Grim Reaper. But yeah, if you want to try, oh man, that's a nail breaker right there. No, my thumb says no. We're not going to demonstrate. It's just a pen blade down there. Believe me. Yeah, you know the nail pull rating 0 to 10. To me, 0 would be you turn the knife like this and it just goes. That's no spring, and then 10 would be, hey, it's trying. If I had longer nails, I keep them trimmed down. But if I had longer nails, man, right there, that's like an 11. That's like an 11. Oh, and it's in its half stop, man. It ain't coming out of that one. All right, we're gonna get this one all the way open. There we go. Yeah, it locks solidly in place, and it's a pen blade. You could use it. It's the thickness a lot of times. Just your hand curls around there. But yeah, getting that sucker out. All right. The safe way is you push on the back here. You make sure nothing is in the path. It's easier to close than it is to open. Yeah, you can try KPL and lube, and you can go back and forth a lot of times. I'd rather have this is an extreme. See, I wouldn't want to have a 0, and I wouldn't want to have a 10 on a knife pull, and it's really noticeable on sunfishes for some reason. It's the small blade. Usually, big blade is no problem. You got plenty of. I don't even use a nail nick most of the time, but you can't. You can't. You don't have enough room here to pull on. And if you try to use one of those nail assist tools, you have to know how to use it. You have to push and maintain it up there. There's a way to use those, or you'll get hurt. You'll get right up to where the part of the blade's exposed, and then the nail nick tool will slip off, and what's exposed? Gosh. And you're going to need a lot of super glue, for that. Thank you, Jason. Thank you for attending or being here. What was I trying to type in here? Oh, I'm going to put some weird stuff in here then. If it's going to be that way. There. There's some weird stuff. All right, thank you, Cranky. Like I said, they're in a different time zone. They're besides a different world. Australia. He's out in Australia. That's where Nigel gets some of his accent from. Is Australia. So yeah, too strong of a nail nick, too strong of a knife pull can take what would otherwise be a fun knife into a painful knife. So there's another. I guess this would be what is not a fun knife, because everybody's going like Fun Knife Friday. What is not a fun knife? So what's not a fun knife is one that hurts you. Now, if it's your own stupidity, you can't really blame the knife if you did something wrong. But if it's the design of the knife makes it to where you're susceptible to hurt yourself, either trying to get it open. I mean, don't underrate bending back a fingernail, man. If you've ever done it, it can hurt. I mean, it doesn't bleed, bring blood. I doubt if you're ever going to pull your whole thumbnail off, but then used to cut fiberglass. Cutting fiberglass is not fun, and doing that job was not fun. It was an unair conditioned factory in Texas with no real good airflow, and those knives I sharpened them just when they got super dull, but you really didn't care about the edge. It was like a cleaver shape. I got it, but I'll pull it out. I'll show a picture of it after this. But yeah, so any knife can be a fun knife. It depends on what you're doing. Like I said, these where is one? I had a game one back here somewhere. The ones that have got a little game in the handle. They're hiding from me. Let's So I am so thoroughly organized around here. No, that's not it. I don't think this one is either. No, this is just a regular. Anyways, they got that little puzzle. It's not much of a puzzle, but if you've been drinking, it might be hard. You know, you got to line up these three little ball bearings and have them lying in the slot. I seen the ones when I was a kid that had a baseball diamond. It had more than three. I think it. Yeah, it had four. I think it had four. I don't remember. Anyways, you tilt it around. Oh, thank you, Jason. I just saw this pop up on a. See, if it's up here on the screen and there's been some chat, I can see it through the monitor. But right now, it's gone. See, it's gone. So if I was looking at doing something, but yeah, it's all anything that you can do to have fun. It doesn't cost a lot of money. That may be a fun night for you. You know, like if it costs hundreds of dollars and you finally got it, you know, and every time you see it, no matter what people criticize or whatever and say about it, oh, it's overpriced or whatever, you like it. You have fun with it. That's a fun knife. See, like I was gonna use this as an example here. All right, Dewey's going down in this one. I'm just saying, Dewey's got a good chance of going down because this was going to be my Fun Knife Friday. It's the Wild Turkey Bowie knife, and it has a low heat treat and everything. But this thing now it's got a convex edge on it. It holds an edge pretty good. I chopped oak and stuff with it. It's got an obtuse enough edge here that I don't think you're going to snap this thing off. And with a low heat treat, probably not. You know, if it was 60 something, but no. But, you know, again, that doesn't keep it. I think one of the main things is they smoothed this out and contoured it so well that it's just a pleasure to hold in the hand. It doesn't translate that well, you know, on visual. People look at it and go, oh, that's just a laminated, blah, blah, blah. If you ever hold it, I don't know, it's just the proportion, the balance. Uh, you can have a lot of fun with this knife, and it doesn't cost the price of a case knife. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with getting a case. I'm just saying you can have fun. You can have a lot of fun with a big knife and not spend a lot of money. I think those were like $20 or so. I don't know where the sheath is, so I'm putting that one back. You also that even though Bowie knives are fun knives, I have dropped Bowie knives on my bare feet. Now, fortunately, they weren't open; they were in their sheaths. But even then, a big old Bowie knife usually weighs a pound and a half, and if that thing falls from like even a foot and a half height, you know, like footstool height, which is what happened. They were sitting on a footstool in front of me. I was admiring them, and I got up, and it's a rocking chair footstool. It's from my mom's furniture. It's one of the things she had. She had a chair that was like that, and then she had a footstool that was like it. Well, still have the footstool, and it gets me because you're thinking footstool. It's not going to move, but this thing slides. And I bumped it or something, and a Bowie knife came out, and I did my little dance, you know. Usually I'm pretty nimble on my feet, but I didn't get away from this one, and it came down and right on the toe, right between mud, but it hurt for like a week or so. I was like, oh crap, and I thought, man, what if that thing I'd been admiring all the different blade shapes? Ooh, look at that. He survived the other one, but he almost got taken out by a clasp. Because you're standing on him, Dewey. You got to understand. You want attention. They want attention too, but you can't stand on them. That's kind of like disrespectful. He's going to learn. He's going to learn. But yeah, you drop the point of this on your foot, and you're going to notice. I have dropped knives point first on my foot. That's when I did that one video where I was just taking a cardboard box, and I was just taking the blade and I was just hanging it up from the height that it dropped. You know, I kind of being scientific with it, and I was dropping it and seeing what damage it was doing. And man, some of these heavy blades have got some mass in it. They'll go in single wall cardboard, and your foot, your skin is not as thick as or as tough as single wall cardboard. I'm just saying. I have done the test. Both ways. I was the guinea pig. I didn't use any live subjects other than myself. Hello, Mike. Mike's our winner. He just got his winnings. He's posted it on Instagram. Um, it's well fit in a small postal thing box, but I got this idea from Big Red. He was talking about how you can order stuff from the post office and get them for free. All you got to do is request them. And this will fit. I could put the box in that, and this will fit. And the padded flat rate is cheaper, a little bit cheaper than the regular small flat rate. So I got that and these priority mail stickers, because the last time I went up there, I wrap them pretty well, and I usually wrap it so well that they can't get to their little barcode. I know this. I know about barcodes, and I know how it pisses them off. But they're postal employees, If they were efficient, they would have one of these sitting right there beside their thing. But they didn't. So I go up there and I put my box, and she goes to scan it, and she goes, you covered everything up. Now, the mean part in me would have said, well, if you'd have been an efficient postal employee, you'd have one of these sitting right there, and you would know because you encounter this often. But no, you're lazy. You sat there. So I already brought one up here with me, you lazy, incompetent postal employee. But I didn't say that because that's kind of like pissing off a waiter, like you may get a good one on them, but then they're going to serve you your food. So, yeah, who wins? Who wins on that one? Yeah, you got them. You got them good. But, yeah, you're going to be hugging that bathroom. You're going to be a very personal friend of the porcelain god for a while. Because for some mysterious reason, you got food poisoning. We just don't know how that could have happened. It's mysterious. We're going to call it food pox. Ooh, don't say certain words. Don't say certain words or you'll be banned for giving. I'm not giving medical advice. Sometimes I do comedy, okay? Comedy. You got to talk slowly for artificial intelligence and clearly. Comedy, okay? Comedy. This is not a real dinosaur AI, okay? It's not a real dinosaur. May look like one. Any abuse that happens to him is totally in a fictitious world. This dinosaur does not condone dinosaur abuse. For those of you that need help with dinosaur abuse, call 1-800-DINOSAUR. Yes, Dewey would be a good mascot for YKM because they haven't had a spokesman for a while. They took it upon themselves to kind of assert their authority. But once they got a storage case, they've been oddly and strangely and disturbingly quiet. Normally, I was going to get one Yellowknife a month, just to appease them. And I kind of let that slide, and nothing happened. So I thought it was safe to get. See, he's got a job already. New guy comes in the spot. Immediately, he gets an emoji. He gets attention. He stands on other knives and causes, stuff, but because he's got a smiling face. That's the thing, man. You need a manager like Boris, but you need employees kind of like Goofy. And I don't know. I guess we could have Terry as the supervisor. He kind of overlooks everybody. Yeah, I don't know. It's a strange world we've got over here, but that's what goes on in this channel. I know, people tuning in or looking at this go, oh, I'm sorry, did I tune into the mental health channel? All the employees have escaped, and like one flew over the cuckoo's nest, and they've got control of the control panel, and they've gone batty. Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, you're right. It is something like that. All right, so I put these little glow-in-the-dark things, and they come in handy because I was missing my Baton Olight Baton 3. It's nice bright red color, which is what I like because it would stand out. This forest green right here, Yeah, you drop that in a forest, you're not going to be able to find it. But if it's glowing, you got a chance. And if you've got a UV thing, that is even better. We got to hear because it charges. Quit that. That's the problem with touch lights, man. You touch them, and they think you want to do something. All right, see this? And it works kind of like a dark light, like a low light thing, because you usually have enough There's a difference between fluorescent and fluorescing type of stuff. A white thing will shine, reflect it back, but as soon as you go, there's nothing left. You want this stuff going on. It'll hold a charge pretty for a long time. Some of them, like this tape, it's supposed to be guaranteed to hold its charge for 10 hours or so. I don't know. And that's usually long enough daylight. You should be able to find it then, unless it's in total darkness. But that comes in handy. And the tape on it, the sticky back on it is pretty good. So far, it's been, like I said, 100 something. I haven't gone outside with it. But it's been over, 100 degrees. And so far, these things haven't melted. At the inside, like I said, it usually keeps around 80, 82, something around there. So we don't. I never used to have to worry about electrical grids. We won't get into that. Usually, the only time you had to worry about electrical grids is if a storm came through, like a hurricane or whatever, and you understood, power lines went. Not because they couldn't handle it, not because a place that's been getting paid, taking money, supplying with electricity for some reason now can't do it. You know, it's crazy. It's a crazy world we live in nowadays. Is all I'm saying. And really, used to be that was that's just old people talking. Well, it is an old person talking, and like I said, for most of my life, there's been crazy stuff going on, but not like lately, man. And they keep saying it's going to get worse. I don't try to let that bother me too much. That's why we got knives. You can go somewhere and get away from all that crap, politics and war and all kinds of stuff. I mean, it bleeds through, especially like you think, all right, I'm safe in a knife community, because we're just going to talk about knives. And then somebody sees this, China. Oh my God, China! And then it's off to the races. Here you go. You were trying to avoid politics, but now they're going to tell you how bad the communist government is, as if you don't know already. You know, I was probably alive before they were, the people that are making these comments. When I joined the military, we had the Cold War. Guess what we were fighting? Communists. Kill a commie for mommy. I mean, it was serious too. We really thought the Russians had their shit together back then. We did. They knew. They knew. Like there was a lot of this missile gap and bomber gap for 71. Well, they found out that a lot of them they had problems. They weren't operational because the Soviet soldiers were draining the hydraulic or antifreeze and making alcohol out of it, drinking it. Yeah, that's a bad idea. But that's also gives you an idea of how competent are these people that are maintaining your aircraft. Exactly. So, yeah, we had an all volunteer military by then, and so you couldn't use the excuse, well, I was drafted, I don't want to be here. People that were there wanted to be there for, usually whatever reason. It definitely was not the money. You can always go back. I can look at, we get a statement of our Social Security throughout our life, our earnings and everything. And you can see when I was mowing yards for a living as a kid, and then when I went into the military, still pretty damn low. And then when I got out, I didn't immediately go into a high-paying job. My next job was working for my sister at a rifle and pistol range, and $4 an hour was what I was making, and my wife wasn't working. So I was supporting her and myself for $4 an hour in Texas, at a rifle and pistol range. But you would think, oh, that's terrible. Well, it is, working for family is bad, but that was the best job of my life because I did love guns and everything. Here I was immersed in guns, and most people would say, I got to see guns that I would never be able to buy. I got to shoot guns that I'd never be able to own, full auto Thompson machine gun and stuff like that. And I learned a lot about videos and editing and stuff because they had out at the gun range. They had a TV commercial was promoting stop smoking cigarettes. This was back in the early mid 80s, and mid to late 80s, and they were promoting stopping cigarettes smoking. So he would go to different things. Like one was a foundry, a metal foundry. He would kind of show what goes on in the metal foundry, and then he would take a pack of cigarettes and he would throw them, in the molten thing and destroy them. Well, they were going to have him shoot a pack of cigarettes. They had him lined up, had him close, less than 7 yards. I don't see how you can miss. He missed. He could not shoot a full auto. So they did editing. They had him holding the gun. They had a close up of him firing the gun, and then they had a close up of the stuff being shot down. I was the one shooting the stuff being shot down. It was easy. You gotta know how to burst fire and everything. Hold down and let it climb. Anyway, he was an idiot. But that's when I learned about video editing too. It was a lot of fun working at a rifle and pistol range. Like I said, it wasn't always easy. Sometimes there were days when nobody would show up. So that's one of the worst things. I'd keep myself busy. I'd load up my gun and I'd go out target practice. We had a cat named Wrangler. He was a big black cat. He was a stray. He liked to go hunting with me, and sometimes he would bring me a mouse because we had a. It was built as kind of like an old concession stand or something. It had a ledge on a window up there that would slide open, so you could set stuff, and it was braced enough. You could have put a rifle there and all this other stuff. Well, Wrangler would jump up there every once in a while to say hello. And he'd jump up. And one time he jumped up and he had a mouse. He had a mouse in his mouth. And I thought it was dead. So I was like, oh, thanks, Wrangler. Open it up. He comes in and he drops it and looks at me, and the mouse runs underneath the table and everything. We had a reloading bench and gunpowder and all that other stuff back there, and big heavy wooden benches. And the opening was about this high, so it's not enough for me to reach in and get. And you don't want a mouse inside anywhere. They're nasty, they're vermin. So I had a Charter Arms Bulldog in 44 Special, and I had some birdshot loaded in it. And so Wrangler didn't want anything to do with the mouse. I said, "You caught him. You take him out." And he goes, "No, that's yours. You take it." I'm like, all right. So I put my headsets on, and I leaned down and I cocked the hammer back and just doors over here, and I was, I got the mouse, but she goes, "Hey, that was a gunshot." I said, "Yeah, no, no crap." I said something else, but I'm gonna try to keep this civilized in the stream here. But yeah, that was Wrangler, and he was a wildcat. You know what he'd like to do? We would have security guards come up there every Saturday, which was another nightmare, to shoot to qualify for carrying a pistol. And you think cops are bad at shooting? Security guards are even worse. But they would have a little break. Wrangler loved potato chips. Man, they would feed him potato chips. He'd act like a starving cat. Fat, big, fat black cat. He'd act like he was starving, and he'd convince everybody, to feed him potato chips. So, yeah, you meet a lot of strange people and strange characters in different jobs in life, and not always the best paying job is going to be the best job in your life. See, now that I'm retired, I can look back. My very last job, I would have to say, competed with the second to last job as it was one of the worst jobs that I ever had. But the best ones have been some of the lowest paying. Like I said, $4 an hour working in. We had an air conditioner in there. One of my jobs was in the summer in San Antonio was welding up target frames and stuff using a cutting torch. One of the hottest days they had out there. I was out there with a cutting torch and a welder, welding stuff up. So yeah, I'd take a break. I'd jump in, but I've learned to take some of the heat. But the thing is, heat is a killer, especially as you get older. Heat will kill you. Oh hi, Tobias. I saw him pop in there. All right, cool. And you're a moderator. I must have made you a moderator in advance, but that's cool. I trust Tobias as being a moderator. You know what to do if you see any of those little porn links. Just get rid of them. And it should be cool. I want to see if there's anybody else that has popped in that I hadn't seen. But yeah, I was just running this early one just to say that Fun Knife Friday. There are some exceptions to it. I think that's a good one to do. I don't want to bust up the Fun Knife Friday thing, but there are exceptions to it. And for those of you that haven't, joined in recently, one of the exceptions is a knife that you have to work with, and you don't particularly like your job. I gave the example of if you're working at a fish factory, even though you have a good fish knife, it just reminds you hate fish, you hate the smell of fish, you hate the look of fish, you wish you had another job, but you can't, you need to support your family, meh. That would be an example of a knife that in normal circumstances, if you were fishing, you would like and you would have fun with. But in the case of that one, it's a work knife. In my case, it was fiberglass. Fiberglass is not fun to work with. Fiberglass is not fun to cut. It's rough. It's tough on knives. You can learn a lot about knives from it, but you wouldn't want to bring any of your knives. I did bring my knives in there, but not to cut fiberglass. It would to cut the box and the banding strap that would hold fiberglass. But yeah, that's a non-fun knife, uh, like there. So we're gonna cut this one off here in a little bit because I know people like to do things on Friday and it's early and people got work to do and all that other stuff. But I just want to say thank you for everyone that joined. And Tobias, I'm going to be joining your kitty corner. I want everyone to look at up there behind. He's always trying to hog. Get out of the way, Dewey. Uh, Tobias has got his channel, and the reason why I'm waiting to join is because when you join a channel, that's when they're going to pull the money out of your account. And I haven't got paid yet. So I don't want it. Sometimes I'm struggling. I'm struggling towards the end of the month. And if something automatically comes out, like Big Reds, I joined Big Reds, and it comes out on the 20th. Now that's all right. That's in the middle there. But if I were to join in the first or the third or whatever, like I said, I'm surprised that this is even streaming because my phone has been, cut off and it's still working. But yeah, a quick check of the chat here and see if I missed anything. But yeah, it's almost like when someone says, "What's your favorite knife?" For me, it would be easier. It would be easier to narrow down into what knife do you not like, and why do you have it if you don't like that knife? It may be because it's a gift, and you don't want to say that publicly. Maybe your relatives gave you a knife, and they occasionally watch your video feed, and you say, "Well, here's a knife, that I can never use. It's terrible." And they're what? So yeah, sometimes there has to be a secret, on there. But oh, bang that. What does this say? Actions. Oh yeah, trick knives. Yeah, see, that's what I was saying. You had to be from that time. You had to have been noticing it. Or into knives, or actually have been given one. Because it is kind of sneaky. They don't give you a lot of room to. Don't give you a lot of purchase, and you're going like, how can I get this thing out? Somebody's having a good laugh. What I find unfortunate is, like I read in some of the forums, people would throw these away and think they're broken, you know? And it's like, oh man, they don't make them. I don't think they make them, again, uh, anymore, Maybe for reasons of, people were misusing them, or I don't know. But if you're going to carry a penknife, this is cool. And it's functional too, because you don't have to worry about it coming open in your It's almost like assisted opening, you know? It's like, you need something to grab? Here you go. Grab that. And like I said, this one is tight lockup, you know, pretty tight lockup. Like I said, it depends on condition. I saw one exactly like this, but it was all scratched off and everything. And they were asking like 20 something dollars for it. So they're cool. Like I said, you don't have to get a brand new knife. Sometimes getting an antique knife is I'm trying to get this thing to focus, not doing it. Here, oh well. Sometimes getting an antique knife is more fun than getting a brand new knife because you don't see them. Oh, see, I have it closer. Yeah, if this does pop up, you talk about. I filed the kick down. I filed the kick completely down, and it still doesn't. It still doesn't work. Oh, hi, Knife Delights. Yeah, I'm about to close this one down, but I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that joined. Thank you to everyone that did the super chat and everything. And thank you to Stacy for becoming a new member. See, at first you get like a little mug. These are not, super good emojis. And then after a while, you advance to, I think, a Delica is next. But eventually you get a case buoy. Yeah, he wants Dewey as a mascot. So there, once again, I sorry I don't schedule these in advance and everything. Um, everybody's got different schedules and all this stuff, and I've tried to do that on this. You have to do it on the phone that you're gonna be videotaping from, or the computer or whatever. And I have two phones. An old phone that runs on 4G, and that's for me monitoring the stream, and this phone, which runs on 5G. But like I said, the chat just like fades away. I'd put up with it blocking my view if I could see the chat up there, but this works out anyway. So everyone enjoy your weekend. Have a fun knife Friday, and don't forget what do we sponsor right now? Is the giveaway open to everyone, whether you're in the United States or not. There's just ways of doing that, if you're not. And later on, like I said, later on I'm going to do an overseas only giveaway. Unfortunately, we'll probably not have a knife in it, you know, but it will have something. I have a couple of good things that are going to be in there besides getting bogged down. Came on here, and I hope everyone has a great day. And Dewey says, have fun. That's what Dewey says. It's original, right? He comes up with really original stuff. Have fun. Next he'll have a smiley face. He'll come out with a smiley face.